Hey there, welcome back. It's Brittany. Welcome back to day 17 of my 100-day bracelet challenge. I was actually inspired by one of my subscribers. I just read a comment that she left on my last video, which was the epic wholesale order unboxing from all those chevron beads and bone beads. So Jeannie wrote that she was inspired by the green and red beads to make something that was cactus inspired. So I was like, oh my gosh, yes, that works. So I actually immediately remembered that I have, well, first of all, tons of cactus stuff because I've been collecting it since before I moved to Arizona. But I have these from Hobby Lobby that I've had for a long time. They've just been sitting. I'm sure I got them at 50% off. I have more. I have these from Hobby Lobby. And then I just buy cactuses whenever I see them because I just love them so much. So I have like this bag of just cacti charms from Hobby Lobby. And then I had these spacer beads. So I definitely want to do something with the spacer beads. Probably want something with a charm. And then I got, I have these just random AliExpress orders. There's no way I'll ever use all of these. But so the beads that I pulled out from the wholesale order yesterday were these green and red ones. And Jeannie, thank you so much for the idea. So we're going to use these today. And then I did get some other beads out, but I don't know how great they match because I was pulling them out in the dark. Not very helpful when you're looking for color matching. So I got these out, which looking at them, they're not the right, they're too dull. I got these, which are more cacti looking, but they're not quite the right green in real life. I got these red ones out, which are actually pretty cool. These are from Michaels. They're red dyed quartzite stones. And then I got these in Tucson, and they were in one of my Tucson unboxings. The one thing I'm worried about these are they're dyed, and I haven't tested them on my skin for very long yet, so I haven't seen if the dye will rub off. But I really like these, and I really like these. And I didn't really go through all of my gemstones to see if I had any green ones that would match, but actually these two go surprisingly well together. So I'm thinking today we're going to make a necklace and a bracelet, but I want to start with the bracelet because it's day 17 for the bracelets. As you know, I am recapping at every 10 days the bracelets I've made for those 10 days. So in a few days you'll see the 10 bracelets I've made for the last 10 days, but I've got some doozies. I've got some cute ones coming up. So here are some scissors. I'm just trying to think about how I want to design this. I really want to get, where did I put those spacer beads? I really want to get these beads in here somehow. Well, not these beads. I want to get this bead in here somehow. I'm kind of annoyed that there's only one silver on here. And then I'll have to go through my stash. I want to make a bigger necklace, but we'll start. I'm going to make a couple bracelets here. I'm thinking this guy for a focal on one, and then I really like that guy, but that's kind of big for a bracelet. I like this guy, and I like this one. But I think I'm going with silver, so we're going to put these guys aside because they're gold. Womp womp. All right, let's see. Where did that other bag of, oh, here. We'll look through this bag really quickly too, just to make sure there's nothing in there that we want. So no copper right now. I like that one. I always like this one. Well, I'll take one of these, keep one of these out. I'll keep this guy out. Actually, I don't want this one. I'll keep that guy out for now. And then I want to look at this. He's so cute. He's so little. All right, we'll keep that guy out too. I was thinking if I could find a chandelier, I could hang these little tiny guys from a chandelier charm or something. Along with, where did I put them? These really long glass bugle beads. I got these at a store out here in 2016 before I even moved to Arizona. So anyway, we'll get started. Let's see. Where did I put the red beads? Here we go. I think we'll put these red beads on a bracelet. I'm just going to cut apart some beads and we'll get started. That's the best way for me to plan things out. I don't have my bead mat over here, my bead board. So for sure, oh, good, there are spacers on here, so I don't even have to go get spacers. We'll just take all of these off. And I'm just going to take out the copper beads. I'll save those for another project. And I haven't decided, I don't think I'm going to do leather on this one, but maybe. Actually, I think I have some red leather. I've done a lot of leather bracelets, but I've done a lot of stretch bracelets too. Okay, so thinking I'll be back. There's something I want to grab. Okay, so I wasn't happy with all my green selections, so I ran over to my stash and pulled out a bag of green and started going through it and grabbed a bunch to bring over. And I also remembered that I made this guy, so I think we will use this on the necklace. It's one if you wanted to see how to make this, you could look at my polymer clay faux hammered metal tutorial. So we'll turn him into a pendant possibly. And then so here are some different beads that I brought over. These are some type of stone, maybe magnesite. These actually look really good, so I'll keep these to the side. Those might be too big for what we're making right now. No, those are too green. These are really cute. These are from Fire Mountain Gems. Here's the info in case you want them. And then they're ceramic. These would be great for a necklace. Well, so they would be great for a necklace, a ceramic necklace. Not with these beads, but maybe with the larger ones. They're just not green enough, but they're really cute. I need to work those into a project soon. Going through beads is the thing that inspires me the most, guys. I just went through this bag that I haven't really looked through in maybe a year and just found like beads that I haven't looked at in a couple years, and I was like, oh, I want to do something with that. I want to do something with that. So no, these crystals aren't too bright. I feel like Goldilocks right now. No, these beads aren't just right. All right, and then we have some gemstone beads. These look pretty good. I think these are from Bargain Bead Box. At least they were in a Bargain Bead Box bag. Sometimes I recategorize, so could be something else. And then I think, oh, beads everywhere. Guys, when I move, I'm going to find beads everywhere. I know it. Okay, and then, so I'll leave these out. I think I'm going to use these on the bracelet, and then these bigger ones will probably be worked into the necklace. And then I brought over two others. So I got these a while ago. At Packet's Hands, who is now closed. These are too dark. And then, actually, these are from Art Beads. Is that right? Tiny Green Aventurine Nuggets. I got these a long time ago because I can't even remember the last time I ordered from Art Beads. I mean, it's been years. So, okay, so these are looking good. I'm thinking we will do, I was thinking memory wire. I haven't done a memory wire bracelet yet. Not for our challenge anyway. Maybe one memory wire. Maybe I'll do 3 bracelets today. They can match each other, but I don't have to use them together because I really want to make a stretch bracelet. I really want to make a leather bracelet, and I really want to make a memory wire bracelet. So looks like we're doing all 3. Buckle up for the ride. All right, I'm going to go get my leather and my memory wire, and I already have my stretch bracelet stuff here, so I'll be right back. Okay, I grabbed a bunch of different supplies and my bead board so we can plan out at least a stretch bracelet, but I'd like to try something new and plan out my memory wire pattern first. Sometimes I just like kind of start throwing beads on memory wire and then I trip myself up later on. So I did bring over a couple other spacer beads, but I don't see an ender bead. So at some point, oh, yes I do. I'll just put this at the end. Little silver spacer balls. All right, so I'll just grab a couple of those. So I'm guessing I'll put one on the end, and I want to start by incorporating these. See, now that I'm looking, these might not be a good enough match. Let's see. Oh no, they're good, because the thing is, these chevron beads have, because of the way that they're cut, some of the green is less saturated in certain spots. Oh wow, that one's different. That's weird. Sorry. So it'll work. It'll work. I'm convinced it'll work. We'll get through it. Now, I might have to choose. I just flung beads everywhere. I might have to choose between these two, but no, now that I'm looking at them together, I think we're okay. So I'm going to cut this apart. Sorry for my rambling, guys. You know my process by now. I'm going to use the little well here so that these won't travel like the round ones will, so I'll just put those right here. I need to hire somebody to clean up after me. Too bad I can't afford it because I buy too many beads. But yeah, it would be my dream to have an organization secretary after I make a necklace or a bracelet, because the bead boards are a hot mess later. I'm going to cut these apart just because it'll be easier if I decide to use them. Put a couple in there. Oh, that one's kind of cool. And then I'm going to cut apart some of the chevrons. Actually, I don't think I need to cut. I might not need to cut this. Yeah, I will. It's okay. And there we go. Okay, so we're gonna start with this little guy right here. Sorry, you guys know my bead board's a hot mess because I get glue all over it and dirt. And then I'm going to just kind of flesh this out. I did bring over some more. I have a bigger bag because I wanted to use more spacers than I had on that strand. I don't know where I got these. Probably Tucson. So usually they have places that'll just have a big bag of spacers for a few dollars. And that's when I grab them, because if you go to Michael's, sometimes, unless they're having a huge sale, they're pretty expensive for spacers. Let's see. I'm trying to get the plastic off of this piece. Let's just grab a different bead. Okay. And then just develop a pattern. Grab one of these. I wish I had smaller red ones. I probably do, but I can't think of any off the top of my head because I don't buy a lot of red, because I don't really love red. But that is quite big for this pattern. It's standing out more than I want them to. Let's see, but I do want red in there. I don't want to just make it green. All right, I'll be back. I'm going to save these maybe for the stretch bracelet. I'll be right back. Okay, so I looked through my stash and I found some red crystals that might work, but they're very bright. And then I found this bag of beads from Bobbi Doe. They were really the main attraction were these brass beads, but these red beads were also on there, and I think they're the perfect size for spacers for this memory wire bracelet. So I'm going to cut some of these off, put them on my bead tray, and then we'll get started. I think that's going to be really pretty with these chevron beads. So I'll cut more off as I need them. And then this makes me want to use this brass spacer on one of the bracelets too, but I'll have like 16 bracelets that look the same. So, okay, I'm going to put a spacer in there. I think that's a bit much with these crystal spacers. I think I'll still use those, but the memory wire bracelet is going to, usually for those I don't put anything too crazy on. I just make a really nice pattern going around, and then I make the focal like whatever charm I put on the bracelet. So I really like want these beads to be the focus, not crystals. Okay, so looks like I picked a pretty easy pattern. That might take up, I'm just going to do a couple loops because I don't want to use a whole lot of these chevron beads. Actually, I think I might do a little bit more green because this is going to end up using a lot of chevron beads if I make this a wrap bracelet. So let me think about this. Okay, we're going to do it. At least that'll add more green throughout the bracelet. And that'll take, just adding 2 more beads in the pattern will take up more room. So that would take up as much room as one of these. So we're saving some of these as we go around. So, okay, I have my memory wire right here. And I have my memory wire snips. Make sure when you're using memory wire that you use memory wire cutters. If you use your regular nippers, you're going to ruin them for sure. Let's see. I'm just going to take, I'm not going to take that many coils because I know I'm not going to make this bracelet that long. This is kind of tangled. Sorry, just one moment here while I get this untangled. So I have a few coils. I'm just going to snip. We'll see how, I'm not measuring. One thing you could do, and I forgot this, and so I think somebody wrote this in my comments, is you can put an earring stopper right here so you don't have to cut it later. Since I know I'm not going to change my my pattern, I'm not going to do that, but it's such a great idea. If you're making earrings, you don't want your beads to travel while you're designing, use an earring stopper to slide on the wire and none of the beads will fall off. So I'm going to curl this one under. There we go, just make a loop. And then I'm just going to start putting beads on in the correct pattern, if I can find the end of my, there we go. So I'll show you the first few passes of the pattern in regular motion, and then I'll speed it up for you guys. I love these little beads. And you know, when I got them, I was like, oh, I'm never going to use those. I've had them for years, literally, because I know I haven't bought anything or purchased anything from Art Beads in a very, very long time. So, and back then I was like, oh, how the heck am I going to use these green beads? I didn't really like the color back then. I love that, you know, with beads, I have stuff that I've had for 20 years and still haven't used, and one day they're going to be perfect for whatever project I make, and I'm going to be so excited. So with this project, I'm going to put the charm on my loop right here, but you can absolutely put charms throughout. Maybe one day I'll make a memory wire bracelet like that, but you could get a bunch of jump rings and just make this one of your beads throughout the bracelet, and so you'd have a bunch of, like, you'd have almost like a cha-cha bracelet. Okay, well, I don't like this one. This one's weirdly shaped. It's hard to see the holes. Okay. No. I'll show you what I'm looking at in just a moment here. Thank you so much, Jeannie. Like, that was such a great idea, because I was having a hard time, even though I said it in my video, not seeing these as Christmas. I was having a hard time, even though I said you could use them as something else, but this is perfect for a cactus bracelet. Okay, so there is our pattern. Actually, I'm not finished with the pattern yet. This little bead is not part of our pattern. That's just the beginning of the bead, but here is our pattern. It's so cute, so simple. I am going to speed the video up and we can go from there. Okay, so I've placed the last bead on. It's about 2 perfect wraps around my wrist. And I'm going to cut about a 1/2 inch left so I can make my loop. Where's my, here they are. I am usually don't make not wrap bracelets, but memory wire bracelets that have multiple wraps. I usually do maybe 3 max for my own wrist, just because I don't, if I'm wearing several bracelets, I don't want them all to be the same. But I do really like other people's really long wrap bracelets. When I make them, I don't really love them. So I'm going to go ahead and curl this under and make a loop. And we'll just want to make sure we close the loop so that doesn't happen. Slide the bead back on. Get that. And you don't want to make this too tight, because if you do, it's not going to have any give. So I go ahead and put the loop back up here so our little bead can't get off. Okay. There we go. So here's our base bracelet. It's so cute. These beads kind of remind me also of watermelon. So there's our base bracelet. I'm loving this. This is so cute. It's not my normal style, but it's just adorable to me. And there we go. It's got 2 wraps. And then I'm going to attach just a simple charm. So I have to choose which charm I want to put on here. So we have, I'm using this on my stretch bracelet, so I'm putting that to the side. So we have these two. I kind of really like that guy. We have this one. Oh, I really like him too. Oh, I think I like that one a little bit more. And then we have, well, some of these are gold, but we have this little, see, this little one reminds me of this bead. That's cute. Oh, I can't make up my mind, guys. Oh, this is tough. And we also have this guy. No, it's very similar to these beads, but oh, I really like this little guy. I think I'm gonna go, ooh, so it's between these two. This guy, I love both of them, and I'm gonna go with this one. I don't know why, but this one's just calling my name, so I'll cut him off of there. I did not see that coming. So he's a surprise. All right, and then we'll just open our jump ring. Well, so if I put it that way, he's going to be facing the wrong way. So I'm just going to, instead of moving my hand, I'll move the jump ring, or I'm sorry, the charm the way I want him. Put him on the bracelet, close it up. There are a million ways to make a memory wire bracelet. I'm sure I'll make several more before my 100 bracelet challenge are up, and I'm not going to always do it like this, but this is the way I typically make my memory wire bracelets, with one pattern around the entire thing. So there we go. Day 17 bracelet in the books. I'm going to call this the Cactus Blossom memory wire bracelet, but I'm going to make, the video's not over. We're going to make at least 2 more bracelets and maybe a necklace. I think I'm going to save the necklace for a finished jewelry update, just because I don't want this video to go too long. But I'm loving this little guy. He's so cute. Thank you, Jeannie, for your inspiration. All right, so I'll be back in just a second. We're going to design our second bracelet. Okay, so I've cleared my board, and I think the focus of this bracelet, I'm trying to decide, do I want to use these on the leather bracelet, or do I want to use these on the stretch bracelet? All right, where's the leather that I brought over? Here it is. So I just brought 1 millimeter. I wanted to use, I think, this distressed brown. Got this from Bracelet Street, USA. I'm thinking, well, there's a knot here that I need to get rid of. Okay. So, yeah, I don't think these holes would definitely not fit 2.5 millimeter leather. Sorry, Goldie hair. Okay. All right, so that fits through there. I'm trying to decide what I would like to do with this leather bracelet, because I do really like how these beads look with the brown leather. And I want it to be different. I'm wearing this from the bracelet we just made. So, and it's good because this red is different than these little spacers. Okay. I'm just going to make, do I have a button I want to put on here? Here's a bag of buttons that I got from Emma. Let's see if there's anything in here that I would like to use on this bracelet. I like this heart. This heart's so cute. But Does it match? I think these two go really well together. Just trying to figure out how I would put a charm on the leather bracelet. Thinking. Do I have a ring? I'm trying to think if I have a ring that I want to use for this and where it would be. Okay, so I grabbed this ring. It was from actually one of the toggle sets that Emma gave me. I figured out what I'm going to do. We shall see how this works. So, find the end of my cord. This is going to be a super simple bracelet. I'm going to go through here. We're going to grab our barrel knot tube bead. I've gotten better at making barrel knots. Grab our leather, and guys, this is, if you want a tutorial, I would really recommend looking at Kelly's videos. I'm not going to link it below, but it's Kelly's Bead Boutique, I think that's the name of it. So we're going to go like this. Sorry, I make these really well off of camera, but when right the second the camera comes on, I'm like a hot mess. And I usually only go 3 times, but I'm going to do one more because this is thinner and I don't want it to be a problem because it's thinner. Okay. You might see this cut out of the video because it's a hot mess. I don't do well on camera with barrel knots. Okay, we're going to slowly walk this down to the button. And I made a hot mess out of it. It worked. I have no self-confidence when it comes to barrel knots, but I actually got that one to work pretty well. So then you'll just pull this tight. I'm going to put a dot of glue at the knot, and then we'll start stringing. I want it to have a little breather room. That's why this is not a tutorial on barrel knots, guys. Please, if you really want to know how I did that, please watch Kelly's videos because she does so much better than me. So I have glue somewhere around here. I know because I used it last night. Oh, here it is. I cannot wait. I know I'm saying this in every video, but guys, it's gotten to the point where I just can't stand not having my jewelry studio anymore and working in a 1-bedroom apartment. I cannot wait to have a designated room for my jewelry again. All right, that's quite a bit of glue, but I just want to make sure this knot doesn't come undone, and you won't be able to see it anyway because the leather's dark and it's going to be on my wrist, so nobody's going to look at that. Just make sure you close your glue. This is GS Hypo Cement. I use this on leather bracelets and stretch bracelets. Okay. All right, so once that's dry, you're gonna cut off your tail. Make sure you don't cut this one by mistake. Okay, so now we have our button attached, which is so stinking cute. So I'm gonna do something a little different on this bracelet. I am going to string it And then we're going to end the bracelet on a loop, but this loop is really so we can hang our charm. It's not so the button can go through it, although that's actually, it actually works because I forgot this was a toggle clasp. I was going to just use, no, I'm not going to, I'm not using it as the closure. So this is just going to be a ring at the end of the bracelet. I'm going to make a barrel knot closure for this to go through at the end of the bracelet once I'm finished. You'll see what I mean. So I'm going to slide on, I'm just going to cut this because I don't need 6 yards of leather. I'm not measuring, I'm just cutting. Assuming that that'll be enough, it should be, because it's not going to be like an involved knot bracelet. All right. First bead on, do I have, sorry, I have glue on my fingers, so I keep doing that. We'll put on one of these first. And I haven't decided, do I want to do knots or do I just want, yeah, I want to do knots. And I'm going to trim this just a little bit more because it's getting in the way of that bead. You can always use like a brown Sharpie if you don't like seeing that white part of the inside of the leather. Sorry, I'm going to do this up towards my face because it's too hard to do on the camera. Okay, just trimmed it teeny tiny bit more. So we'll grab our little round. These are 6mm round. I think they're green aventurine too. And then I'm trying to decide if I'm just going to use the leather as the stringing material, because I'm worried that the leather would eventually break instead of putting knots between everything, because if you knot between everything, you're only going to lose maybe one bead instead of an entire bracelet's worth of beads. So this is pretty cool. Yeah, if I was going to string like this, I would use wire because I'm just afraid that my beads there would be a problem. Okay, so we're in a knot. And I'm not going to do fancy barrel knots. I'm just going to do if it's overhand knot, square knot, I never remember. Just one of these simple knots. And then we'll just walk it down to our bead, make sure it's tight. If you'd like, you could do 2. I'm just going to do 1. I don't like how these spacers are. I want to get something that's more of like a bead shape, not a flat disc shape. So I'll be right back. Something that's silver. All right, I picked out some of these saucers. I know they're a little more flat, but they actually show up way better than a just regular spacer bead. And I grabbed some of these. I think maybe I got these from Bargain Bee Box. I think I want to include 1 or 2. It just kind of reminds me a little bit of that charm for some reason. So I'm just going to make a knot. Get it as close to the bead as you can. Now when I'm using like thread or like S-Lon cord, I will use tweezers or pliers to make my knots to get them closer to the beads, but it's not necessary with leather. Okay. Do I want to go chevron next? Yeah, that's cute. And you could, excuse me, you could preload these and just knot between them. It's a little bit more work than I want to do because you would have to drag each bead through the knot, but it is something that you can do. you want to look at your pattern beforehand. This is not going to be a symmetrical bracelet. Actually, don't love this bead here, but it's on there. Maybe I will once the bracelet's finished. So. Okay. I actually do like it. So then I'm going to put one of these. I really want there to be an emphasis on the chevron beads, but we have to be careful because these beads are so big, so it's going to be hard to do. I don't know that I'm going to include, I don't want to include these. I'm just going to include the little smaller rounds. I never know what I'm going to end up when I start doing stuff like this, like just knotting without planning out the pattern beforehand, but I actually like how it's turning out so far. Okay, so you know where I'm going with this. I'm going to go ahead and speed it up and we'll see what we end up with. Okay, so I did a loose pattern. It's not perfect. And it's a little different from like starting right here. Everything's the same, but I don't really mind. I actually really like how this turned out. I love that bead right there. So we are going to, I think I made it a little too long for the original way that I wanted to do it, but we'll work through it. We'll figure it out. Okay, let me see how long it is now. We're at just under 7 inches. Yeah, it's gonna be way too long if I do this the way that I originally planned by adding barrel knots to the end, but we can try it. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and barrel knot this onto the bracelet and I'll be back. Okay, so I finished off the ring with a barrel knot and glued that closed. And then this is what I was talking about with the closure. So I made a barrel knot around the ring and then made the opening large enough for the button to pass through and then did another barrel knot here. So I also wanted to, I didn't want to just end the bracelet right there, so I grabbed a couple more chevron beads and put them on each piece of, sorry, there's a fuzzy on there, each piece of leather. Some of the holes in these chevron beads were 2 millimeters, which was awesome. So I just grabbed a couple of those. I am super excited about this bracelet. It's so cute. It's so Southwestern without being turquoise. And I don't even have the charm on it yet. So what I'm going to do is take my little charm, and I just want to make sure this is the one I want to use because I really like this one too. So that's really cute, and so is this one, but I actually want it to be more of a statement, so I think I'm going to go with this guy now that I look at it. So I have hopefully my jump ring, it's huge, will fit through this. I got a really thick gauge jump ring. I love these for putting charms on bracelets because bracelets get knocked around more than necklaces. So I'll just open this with my pliers, twist, never pull, grab my charm. Woohoo, it fits. And then I just have to make sure the charm is facing the right way. Sorry, these are awkward. So, yeah, we're gonna do it like this. All right. Okay. We'll grab that back and twist it back closed. And here we have our finished bracelet. Again, guys, sorry I didn't do these on camera. It's really hard for me to get them the right way when I do them on camera. So maybe in the future when I'm better at making them more quickly, I'll show you guys how I do them on camera. But for the meantime, there are many different barrel knot tutorials on YouTube. So I'm sure you can find one that would probably be a little bit easier to comprehend than what I would be able to tell you. So now that I'm looking at this, I think the charm is on backwards. So I'm going to swing it around and see if I can, actually I think I'm going to put it down here instead of at the top. That's what's driving me nuts here. Okay. Put it down here. Hopefully that'll make it easier for me to see it. Okay, much better, because I was having a hard time seeing the button and the charm at the same time. I'm trying to think, do I want to maybe wire wrap a chevron bead on there and maybe a silver bead? I think I do, now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, I'm going to get, maybe not that bead. Sorry, I'm so picky. That one's good. I think I'm gonna get, I'm going to go get some head pins. This isn't the right color. I feel like it just needs more. I'm gonna get wire wrap one of these on, and possibly one of these. Okay, so I don't have the best quality head pins right now. I just stuck a chevron bead on a head pin with some spacer beads, and I'm going to try and wire wrap them. If it doesn't work, I'm just going to do a simple loop. I'm going to wire wrap the whole thing by itself to make its own charm, and then I'll attach it with a jump ring. So I'm going to grab, I already tried wire wrapping, it didn't work, so this is take two. I'm going to grab the neck, or the wire, put it around my pliers, and then we're going to grab it and bring it around. And I'm afraid that this isn't long enough, so I'm trying to make it a little bit smaller. There we go. Then I'll just grab it with my pliers. I'm going to actually take my other pliers and wrap around that way. Give you a little bit more control. And like I said, these aren't the best head pins, so they're kind of stiff. But it's getting the job done, so that's good enough for me, right? I got a lot in this video. Some wire wrapping, memory wire, leather knotting. Got it all going on. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and snip that. I think the only snips I have around are my memory wire snips, and I don't know that I can actually get in there. So I'll put that there for a second, and then I'll make my second dangle, which is just going to be silver. I'm trying to think, will I do just a little? I think I'm just going to do a little guy like that. Maybe one of these. Do I want to just do the little guy, or do I want to do the big guy? Thanks for putting up with my design process. Actually, I think I want to do this guy because he looks pretty good with this cactus. For those of you who actually listen to me ramble, I applaud you. Okay. I'll just bring it down around the back. Grab it. And then we'll do the same thing that we did with the other charm. And you can wrap it around as many times as you want. I'm going to go ahead and pull that back up. Okay, I'm going to go grab my snips and then we'll get these on and their bracelet will be finished. Okay, we don't want any tough edges tucked in there. There we go. So we don't want that catching on anything. Just gonna carefully tuck this one in. This one's kind of cool because the top of the bead actually looks wire wrapped. Gosh. There we go. All right, and I'm going to grab my jump ring. Did I only bring one jump ring over for this? I think that's exactly what happened. Oops. These are a little tough because they're such thick gauge. Go. Now, do I want this between? No. Put it on this side. Okay, there we go. And here is our finished bracelet. Oh my gosh, I am so in love with this. Emma, thank you for the ring, the button, and this leather here. I wouldn't have been able to make this bracelet without you. But I love this, how we were able to showcase the chevron that looks like Christmas, but is more Southwest now. Thanks again to Jeannie for that idea. Okay, so two down, and now we're on to our stretch bracelet. This video is going to be forever long, so if you can't make it all in one sitting, that's totally fine. If you need to fast forward, I don't blame you. So I'm trying to put on this bracelet. We'll see if I haven't tried it on. Oh my gosh, it's so stinking cute. I actually was worried. I was super worried halfway through this bracelet, but I love how it turned out. This one, more was more. I kept adding more and more things. Sorry you're not seeing anything, but now it's on. Got a lot going on this arm, but we're just adding them on. But they look fantastic together too, and they're very comfortable. Okay, so last but not least, we are going to make something a little different. We're going to use this guy as the focal. Where did those green beads go? I want to use these think I want to use these. I think. Or do I want to use... So this guy's going to go like this. I don't want to use something that's too thick. And these might be too thick. I think they'll take away... I'm going to cut them open and just double check. I hear my bracelets clinking. One of the things my sisters do at Christmas, if I ever give them bracelets or jewelry or anything while we're opening gifts, they just start piling everything on. It's hilarious. By the end of opening Christmas morning, everybody's wearing like a new pile of jewelry. And we all give each other jewelry, even though they don't make jewelry. It's funny. Okay. Yeah, these guys are a little too big. Okay. Well, we tried. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? I have brought over other green beads. Nope, these are too big. What about these? Nope, I keep trying. They're not going to work. These crystals were the wrong color. Okay, not going to work. I don't have any other green ones that I really want to use right now besides these. I just feel like these are too small for what I wanted to do. I want bigger green beads, but not that size. Unless I made this into a charm, but I didn't really want another charm bracelet. Decisions. I don't want the red ones. All right, I'm going to do one more pass. I know you guys are probably sick of me leaving you. I'm going to do one more pass through my green beads and see if I can find anything that is floating my boat. Okay, so the second I walked over to my stash, I didn't even have to like root through it. I found these Amazonite beads. So I'm thinking these will work. We can make them work, and they're perfect size. They're only 10 millimeter. Yep, that's exactly what I wanted. I'm surprised I didn't see these before, but you never know. You never know what you're going to find. Okay, let's get this guy out of here. Where is my stretch cord needle? I actually broke another one. So actually, I think it was the brand new one that I broke. So I'm going to have to go back to Michael's and take back and say, hey, I just spent $5 on this and it broke 5 seconds later. So this is what I mean when it broke. There is no needle part to it. I think before I actually tried bending this down. I think I actually that's how I ended up fixing my needle. So let's see if I can just do that with this one. If I can, then I'll just keep it. But we need to cut, there's like a little portion here that needs to be cut off, and I don't know if I can do it with these snippers. Nope, those are bad. Okay. Use memory wire because this is harder metal. I'm going to close my eyes so that little piece doesn't get in my eyes. Okay, and then I'm still bending. I think this is how I used my other one, saved my other one for so long. So then we bent it down, and it needs to be a little closer. So the needle's shorter, but saves me a trip from having to return the needle to Michael's. And I think I closed it a little too much, but we'll see if the stretch cord slips in there, and if it doesn't, I can open it up a little bit. All right, so this guy's going to be the middle. Put this off to the side. This guy's going to be the middle, and we are going to use, I want this guy to be sparkly, so we are going to use some of these in this bracelet. Let's move this down just a little bit. There we go. We're going to use some of these crystal spacers. I have more if I need them. I don't want to use a ton of them. Sorry, my arm is in the way. I think there were like 8 on there. Oh no, there's another one. There we go. That should be enough for a bracelet, but we'll see. If not, I can go grab some more. All right. Incorporate some of these guys too. It's too light. I like these darker green ones over here. Okay. It looked a little small, but it's okay. Okay, so we'll put this on our cord, stretch cord needle and see how much longer we need to make it. Sorry, I'm just moving these out of the way. And I will start with putting a chevron bead on the side. Sorry, it keeps focusing on the background and I move my hand. So there's our pattern. Oh no, let's see. There seems to be like something in the way there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, let's carefully get this through. It's not going to fit. So that's okay. We have the solution for that is just putting what we can on the elastic cord needle and then sliding that on later. So I'm going to take the two spacers and just keep going with my pattern. Okay, we're going to see how long this is. It's not long. It's definitely not long enough. So I think I just ran out of crystal spacers. I'm going to grab some more. I have the exact same ones in my stash. I'll be right back. We'll see if this is too tight for the stretch cord. Here is my stretch cord that I've been using from Amazon. I use 0.8 millimeter stretch cord, so I just slip it. Let's see, will it fit? Yep. And then we're just going to ease our beads down. Some of these beads might be a little tight, so just keep slowly pushing them down the cord. Seems like these crystal spacers get stuck somehow. There we go. I wonder what it's getting stuck on. Oh, there's like a divot in there. The hook gets stuck. It's not that the hook's too big, it just gets stuck on the way the bead is formed. Still easier than stranding each bead on the stretch cord. Now we always get rid of that piece that we had hooked onto the needle because it's weak now, and then we will go ahead and I need to put on my one last spacer bead on this side, and then we'll put on our cactus. Okay, so there we go. So cute. Oh my gosh, it's so adorable. All right, and then we'll just trim. Move that aside. I always pre-stretch because, you know, you guys are sick of hearing this. Stretchy cord stretches out over time, and pre-stretching it prevents that. So I'm just gonna stretch a little bit off camera. Plus, it'll, if you happen to have a weak piece of stretch cord, then your bracelet will pop here instead of on your wrist, which I've had maybe happen twice when there was like a piece of the stretch cord that was dented that I didn't see. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tie my knot. Do that a couple times, and then I take my GS Hypo Cement, dab a glue on the knot, let it dry, and then I slide it into the nearest bead that will allow it, which I probably should have put it next to one of the chevron beads, but it'll be okay. It should be able to fit in that spacer bead. I'm sorry, I'm closing the glue. Okay. So the good thing about GS Hypo Cement is it dries really fast. Like, not super glue fast, but it dries pretty quickly. So here's our bracelet. I'm just going to tug on this while the glue's in there to make that knot tight. I'm going to trim my ends. I usually do 1/8 to 1/4 inch long. And then the bead knot, the hole for the, I think for the cactus is a little small, so I'm going to try and get it into the spacer bead instead, except for I'm putting it in the wrong direction. Here we go. It's a pretty big knot for this little bead, but there we go. Actually, seems like it'll be okay going through the chevron bead. It'll be better in the chevron bead. There we go. So there's our third bracelet, and they're all using the same beads, but every single one is different and has different character. I am going to make a matching necklace, however this video is ridiculously long. So here's day 17. So the actual bracelet for day 17 was this memory wire bracelet. I love that I have 3 coordinating bracelets, but they're all super different from each other. So come on. Here's our memory wire bracelet from today. I don't know why this charm is giving me fits. There we go. I have the leather one on. Here is our stretch bracelet. So adorable. So Southwest. So cactus. That's so cactus. And I'm taking off the leather bracelet. Hang on one second. I just love how jingly this bracelet is. It makes me happy hearing all those charms hitting each other. One second, the button's caught. Here we go. And then here is our leather bracelet. I just love the different, how varied we can be with the same supplies, just different ways of putting them all together. So, oh my gosh, I don't have a favorite. I mean, this is my favorite out of the 3, but in the long run, they're all so fantastic. Thank you again, Jeannie, for the idea to make these into like cactus inspired beads instead of Christmas beads. I really, 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 really love them. And these are the colors of the desert. Like I see these every single day. So thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you think. I love talking to you guys in the comments. Again, thank you to Emma for the pieces that I used in here. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I'll be happy to respond. We hit 1,000 subscribers. It's like huge. I never even thought I would get 100, never mind 1,000. I thank each and every one of you for subscribing, and thank you for commenting. I love talking to you guys. Please like and subscribe and share if you think you know somebody who would appreciate my videos. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye-bye. Hi, Goldie. You're wearing your own little bracelet. She's like, as long as you keep rubbing my tummy, I'll be okay.